Hello there, I'm Daz. I am at the Mako landing site on the planet of CHASCA. This is in the Metano system of the Maroon Sea cluster. The Maroon Sea cluster will not become available for exploration until Pharos has been completed. Excuse me. So there is actually an assignment related to this planet. It revolves around these three civilian structures here, and it is called Colony of the Dead. It should trigger as soon as you approach one of these three structures. And actually, if you've hacked a particular terminal on Pharos, you may have this assignment already in your journal. You'll see that I have the objective to investigate samples. So that will become Colony of the Undead once I approach the facilities on the map. In this video, I'm going to be taking a long journey around the planet, taking in all of the points of interest. I'm going to be heading up in this direction first. Hopefully I can manage this in one take without any reboots, because the topography is pretty nasty, to be honest. So we can find a couple of mineral locations up there. So I'm going to head up there now. And after those, I will complete the assignment, Colony of the Dead. I'm almost making a wrong turn right at the very start. Not good. So here we are. I'll go back to the map. That's where I am. So, in order to complete Colony of the Dead, it seems that you only need to actually clear one of the structures on the map, but you'll be missing out on a lot of loot and XP if you do that. So, I'm going to be clearing out all three locations. So you can see the two mineral ore sites on the mini-map now. I'm going to take the northernmost one first. Hopefully the Mako is not going to let me down. There's going to be some steep climbing at various points during this video. So there's the first one, Plutonium. Okay, so that gets the ball rolling. Now we need to get out of this little gully. And we do that by heading up here and back out into this valley. So it's best to stick to the grass when you're trying to climb these mountains, otherwise you lose traction very quickly. Come on. So a Palladium deposit. Right. So I'm now going to head down to the first civilian structure. So we've got a nice easy bit of navigation right now. There are a couple more tricky ones later on. It is possible on this planet to fall into some really deep ravines, and you cannot get back out of them. You'll need to return to the Normandy or reload a save.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Okay, so now we've had some lines of dialogue from our companions, and that means the journal has been updated, and the previous objective has now become UNC Colony of the Dead. So I've got the difficulty turned right down. This is just a location walkthrough really, but I will clear these places out. I'll get rid of that though. Okay.
Negative contact.
So you cannot actually enter these ante-rooms, but there are quite a few storage lockers. I'm not going to bother with those. I've already played through this. Some more loot there. Some nice stuff. Yeah, I've already played through this and made a save, so I'll be skipping all of the loot collection. But I will try and point out the stuff that I am aware of. So take a good look around here. There may be some more. Yeah, there's a crate in that corner there. Let's crack on with the main objective. So I'm now going to head up to the science facility on the map, which is this one, and that is the one actually you need to clear in order to finish off this objective. The best way up seems to be to travel right to this far side. And head up in this direction.
The entire colony must have been transformed.
Okay.
Dead and done, just the way I like 'em.
Rexy is having fun. So I can't see any loot in this room. Once again, I'll try and blaze through these as quickly as possible.
Perimeter secured.
Okay, so this room off to the left, there is nothing in there whatsoever. It is completely bare. But there is lots of loot in this one. You can get some nice gear. And we need to check out this terminal. And that should complete the assignment. Some more loot there. I'll just go to the journal. Yep, Colony of the Dead has been completed, but I'll continue. And make sure that I check out every location. So this is Planet Walkthrough 25 for me, making these videos, and I've got to say that this has been one of the more tricky ones in terms of finding the most efficient route around without falling into any really difficult traps. Okay, so I'm gonna head over to this debris next. So a crashed probe. I'll just bypass that very quickly. Yeah, I made about 4 practice runs at this planet before starting this filming. I tried to go around in a few different directions to discover the best route, and some of them wound up being a complete disaster. So it definitely can be a problem, this one, if you decide to set off in the wrong direction. But we are almost done.
All targets down.
Just need to clear out the nasties from this building. Come on, boyo. Right, that seems to have cleared those. So, weapons locker up here. Aid stations. I'll just make a cursory look downstairs. We have a crate right there. Once again, you cannot enter these office areas. We have a sludge canister that is usually worth checking out. So, and there's another. Just a couple more things to grab then, and then we are all done. So there is a mineral ore location very nearby. Couldn't see it for a moment then. So we have a beryllium deposit. light metal. Hopefully I can get back up here. Okay, so I'll go back to the map actually so you can see where this is. So the only thing left is this anomaly, and I'm pretty sure this causes problems for some people, and it caused a few for me if I'm going to be honest. So we need to get out of here, and once I do so, I'm going to make a save, because if we have any kind of accident, I don't want to be starting again. Okay, so I just need to make it through this bottleneck and then find a way up, because the anomaly is right at the top of a mountain, and it does take some getting to. Ooh, took some doing. Okay, so what you want to do to get up here is, there are actually a couple of ways up, but for me the most successful method is to head up in this direction. So here goes. You need to apply the boosters just at the right time, but as long as you're careful. I almost lost it then. Ooh. Yeah, as long as you're careful, you should be alright. I was pushing my luck a little bit. But here we are. We have a few loot items. And there is one in particular that you need in order to clear the location. So we've got a crate, I don't know why. We have a technician's kit there. So this is the one that you need. A Prothean data disk. That's the one that removes the question mark from the map. So let's remove the destination marker. So the Mako started around about there, I think. We headed north to grab this plutonium deposit, then down to this Palladium. I then cleared the civilian structure, then the science facility, which completed the colony of the dead assignment, then down to the escape pod, cleared the final structure, grabbed the beryllium deposit, and then made my way to this location, which is listed now on the map as a Prothean pyramid. So I hope people have found this useful and not too long-winded, and thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.